set by farmers are now burning out of control.
This rainforest is absolutely bone dry. There's been no rain here for more than 9 months, and these fires are now covering an area the size of England and Wales.
As the inferno approaches, villagers can only watch and hope. Like most here, this family are helpless. Only precious little water and a handmade bamboo spray to protect them. This time, the flames spared their home. 2 private helicopter pilots, one a Vietnam veteran, are flying water bombing missions at their own expense. But they say they could do much more if the United Nations or regional governments funded their efforts.
It's expensive, you know, we wish that we could continue to do it because we know we can make a dent in it.
But with every day that goes by, you think it's getting worse?
Definitely, definitely getting worse. There's not much, it wouldn't take much time for this whole protected area of the Sungai Wine to be erased, and then the world loses it forever.
An environmental catastrophe is being played out here, and there's no end in sight. Mark Austin, ITN, East Kalimantan, Indonesia.
The media tycoon Rupert Murdoch today attacked the BBC over its 24-hour news channel. He said it was unfair that every licence payer should pay for something available to only a few. Our media and arts correspondent Katie Derham reports.
Rupert Murdoch's keynote speech at today's top-level conference for European politicians and TV and film industry executives made it abundantly clear that he feels public service broadcasters like the BBC already have too much power and should not be given any further protection.
But if the unhealthy concentration does exist today, it exists not in the private sector, but in state broadcasting. In the United Kingdom, no one challenges the power of the BBC, nor other countries their own state broadcasters.
In response to that attack, though, the BBC's Director General called on public service broadcasters to remember their duty to the viewers.
For our part, we public service broadcasters in Europe must repay that trust and focus hard on our cultural purposes.
After the speech, Mr. Murdoch chatted freely with 2 of Tony Blair's government ministers who had listened to his attack on the BBC, but who were probably more pleased with his obvious pro-European stance. However, there has been much recent speculation over Mr. Murdoch's close relationship with the government.
Mr. Murdoch, how would you describe your relationship with Tony Blair?
I'm a supporter.
Rupert Murdoch's exact influence over the government is still the subject of intense speculation. His position in the industry, though, is undisputed, and supporters of public service broadcasting will be very worried that today he took such a strong line against them. Katie Derham, ITN, in Birmingham.
The stress of modern life is taking its toll on more and more children. In one case, a boy of just 10 is taking antidepressant drugs. Our medical editor, Lawrence McGinty, reports.
Sean Wood is 10, and he's scared. So scared he's frightened to leave his home. So scared, doctors have diagnosed him as clinically depressed and put him on antidepressant drugs. 6 times robbers have raided his house, stealing his Christmas and birthday presents and a prized Newcastle United shirt.
Scared to go anywhere away from the house where we live. I'll play in the street, but I won't go anywhere else.
They've took his childhood away from him, and it's something he can't get that back, or it's going to be a long time before he does get it back.
Sean's case may be extreme, but a survey published today shows many youngsters are subject to stresses that give them sleepless nights. The biggest worry was exams for 86% of teenagers. Unemployment was next at 75%. The environment, 54%, and boyfriends or girlfriends, 46%.